Hey everybody, how you doing? I am Sophia Parola with Garden State Film Festival, and today I have the honor of interviewing some of the people behind the making of the short film Spin Cycle. How you guys doing?
Good.
Hey everyone.
Good.
Thanks so much for taking some time out to talk to us, and congratulations for having Spin Cycle accepted into Garden State. A little round of applause. So before we get into this interview and all the questions I have for you, I'd love for you guys to just introduce yourselves and then your title in this short film. And I'd love to start off with you, Jay.
Okay, great. My name is Jay Clemente. I was lucky enough to work on this short film Spin Cycle. I was the director and editor.
Thank you. And the lovely family.
I'm Lindsay Atkins, and along with my husband here, I co-wrote Spin Cycle.
Hello, I'm Wally Marzano-Lesnevich. I co-wrote Spin Cycle with Lindsay. I appear briefly in the movie, and I did some jack-of-all-trade producing. And this is our daughter, Avery, who was not even alive when we made this movie. So she did nothing for it, I'm sorry. Dear.
Wow. Well, my first question is for Avery. No, I'm just kidding. Guys, it's so amazing. I have to say how much I loved Spin Cycle. I think it's so interesting and unique the way you went about it. My first question is for you, Jay. So I without giving anything away, it's obvious. Oh, actually, before I get started with the questions, let me ask one of you to give a little synopsis about what Spin Cycle is about. That would be a great place to start. Who would be the best to do that?
Honey?
Oh, me? Okay.
Yep.
So Spin Cycle was actually born after Wally and I listened to a friend tell a story, a funny story about trying to do laundry in their apartment, and she then subsequently became pregnant at the time, and we were kind of in stitches listening to it, and it was just such a full and complete story that afterwards I turned to Wally and I said, I think that would be a really good short film.
Shout out to our friends, Megan and Alex.
Yeah. And so we kind of immediately sat down and wrote it, and it was like I said, it was very complete. And we decided that it would really work as a silent short. We didn't feel that dialogue was really necessary. There was a lot of physicality to it. So yeah, it's about routines and how they kind of get upended, depending on what life throws your way, and how we deal with them. Yeah, and small joys. I think small joys.
Dirty laundry.
Absolutely. Something everyone I think can relate to, hopefully, if they do their laundry. And I love that you guys shout out your friends where you got the story from, not only like right now, but in the film and in the article that you guys have about Spin Cycle. It's really awesome. I'm sure they're very proud. So I'd love to know how you guys got Jay involved and directing. Jay, if you want to talk a little bit about what it was like to work with them and have the script, and then how you went about directing the short film.
Yeah, absolutely. I've been lucky enough to know Wally and Lindsay now for a few years. I've worked in the past with Wally on a few projects, and a big priority for me whenever I go into a new project is who am I working with? And as soon as Wally and Lindsay said they had a project that they wanted me to be a part of, I was in. They're just great people to work with, and I knew that this is something that we would have fun doing. So yeah, they sent me over the script for Spin Cycle. I read it, and from there it was just, all right, how are we gonna go about making this? And we knew that, as Lindsay was saying, this is a silent piece, and that's kind of like in the DNA of the film, and those were the building blocks, those old time silent films that we see from the past, and we kind of wanted to bring some of that into the present time. So we kind of just kept that in mind as we were designing our shots, and they provided a script that was perfect to do those types of things that we were looking to do. So
Wow, I love that you mentioned that not only was it silent, but it did have that like Hollywood old times style feel, which it was so refreshing. Like I have not seen something like that in a
Thank you.
very long time, especially in this day and age. So I'd love to know, I mean, you said that you guys knew you wanted to be silent, and then Jay, you knew you wanted to go about that way, but like, was that something that kind of came about in the editing process, or was that the whole time you guys knew during the filming process that it was going to turn out the way it did in that style, that Hollywood silence style? Can you talk a little bit about that style?
That was the great thing about the script, was that it provided so many options for us, and we knew, and it also provided opportunity to experiment. And so again, we knew what our building blocks were going to be. And so on set, it was a matter of, okay, let's give ourselves enough options so that when we go into the editing room, we could decide whether we want it to be black and white or not, whether we want to play around with the speed. And because, you know, those old timey films, they have a little bit of that, you know, the frame rate is different. So they look a little bit sped up, and we knew we could do that in post. And so the way we filmed it is we gave ourselves options later on. And the editing for me was one of the most fun parts, because I was like, you know, in the editing room, and I put together like 3 or 4 different cuts, and then I send it over to Wally and Lindsay, and then they would be like, oh, I like this, why don't we try that? And they would send back notes, and I would get them, and we would just kind of just volley back and forth, and had a lot of fun experimenting with that style that you see, until eventually we came up with a mix of old and new that I think, you know, we all set out to do. So
that's beautiful. I love that you guys also had that like collaboration remotely, which is, it sounds very hands-on. That sounds difficult, but like really awesome and creative. Lindsay and Wally, I'd love to talk to you guys about the writing process. So I know that you were inspired from your friend's story, but we have, you know, husband and wife coming together to write this one script with not a lot of dialogue. So I just love to know how you came about from hearing your friend's story to coming together and writing this short film.
Dear. Yes, do. Well, you know, we have worked on some other scripts together, a feature that's in development, and you know, it's really quite a lot of fun to put on some jazz music and hand the computer back and forth and watch all of my stuff get changed by my wife. You know, it's a humbling writing process. No, I really love writing with you, dear. I think it's very organic.
Yeah, no, and I think we balance each other out very well. It was an interesting exercise and a fun exercise for me, because I am usually the one who loves dialogue. Like that is where I live, and like sometimes even have a tendency to get maybe a little too wordy, and he edits me, you know, and cuts it down. So it was really fun for me to sort of take that tool away from myself and find other ways to tell the story and develop the characters. And yeah, it was a lot of fun. And it just, I really can't commend our friends enough, because the story was, the way they told it, it had a very full arc.
Yes.
You know, it's small things, you know, laundry, routine, but it really develops.
And I think we definitely should give a huge props to Jay, because a lot of the effects that he was talking about that make the film work, he really developed on his own. We were just having a pacifier situation. And he really developed on his own and they make it work quite beautifully. And I think it's such a great thing for a silent short film to play the Garden State Film Festival, because if you look at the beginnings of Hollywood and Fort Lee, a lot of those silent movies were made right here in New Jersey.
Wally, I love that you mentioned Garden State. That's my next question. I'd love to hear from you all. Just number one, yes, Wally and Lindsay, I've seen you many times at Garden State. I know that we love you guys, and you're very adamant in being involved in Garden State. But I'd love to know why you wanted to submit this film into Garden State. How does it feel having, you know, this piece completed, and now it's going to be premiering at Garden State, people watching that? Like, how does it feel for you, Jay, having this film in Garden State?
Yeah, Wally and I worked on a film, Nightingale, that showed at Garden State in 2018, I believe. And that was one of my earliest film festival experiences. And to be from Jersey and to be showing a film that was made in Jersey with a lot of people from Jersey. It's just, it just speaks to the film community that we have here. And whenever you get to show something in your home state and be a part of that community, for me at least, it's always a bonus, you know. And Garden State has always been a great festival, and to be going back is, you know, it's something that we would like to continue to do year after year. So it's a great tradition.
Great. I hope you do continue that. And I love that you're repping New Jersey, because now people give New Jersey a lot of stuff, but there are some amazing creative collaborators and just artists in Jersey. And I mean, Lindsay and Wally, what's it like to be back at Garden State with this film, Spin Cycle? And also, I think I just want to mention that, I mean, as you said, Avery wasn't even alive when you guys were filming this, and now you have Avery, and there's that connection to the film in itself. And how does it feel just to be like so full circle and have it in Garden State?
I think it's amazing to have it at Garden State because it was filmed in Metuchen. You know, one of the locations that Jay put in the back of the movie is the Forum Theater, which is where we met doing a play, Lindsay and I, several years ago. So it's really a New Jersey film, and so it's an appropriate place for it. And yeah, I mean, at the end of the movie, no spoilers, but would you like to talk about Avery and the movie?
Avery,
she's not in the movie. Jay, by the way, for the record, Jay cut our dog out of the movie.
Oh no!
That's why he's not on the Zoom. But yeah, there is a certain, you know, aspect to the couple in the movie that involves forthcoming childhood.
Oh, of course,
yes.
Yeah. And I think, you know, as writers, at least we tend to often, you know, put little pieces of ourselves into the characters, of course. You know, it's a way in. And so, yeah, not long after this little one came into our lives. And we have a lot more laundry now.
You guys, so do we have a washing machine, or are you guys taking the trip with a bunch of laundry bags?
We have a washing machine.
Yeah, we're very fortunate.
Yeah.
But guys, I mean, congratulations again. I think you guys know how much Garden State appreciates our Jersey filmmakers and filmmakers all around. Your success is our success. So we really love that you guys keep submitting and making such amazing work. Let me tell everyone how you can watch Spin Cycle. It will be premiering Sunday, March 28th in the venue of the Berkeley Hotel in the Kingsley Ballroom in the film block, 12 p.m. to 2 p.m. So we can watch in person and also be available online for all our virtual multipass people. And I think people will really enjoy Spin Cycle, and just, you know, I'm just so happy to get to interview you guys again and see you again. And congratulations on your hard work.
Thank you so much. We really appreciate it. Thank you.
Before we go, just a huge shout out to our incredible cast and crew.
Yes.
Without whom this movie would not have come together and been the excellent accomplishment it is.
Yeah,
absolutely. They were amazing, by the way. Yes. Congratulations to the beautiful cast. You guys were great.